Hi, I'm here to talk to you about how the use of communication technology encourages sexual behavior in teenagers. As communication technology continues to grow and become more advanced, more people are becoming connected through these communication resources. The more people that find faster means of communicating, the more people begin to engage in risky sexual activity. This is especially true in teenagers. It is in the teenage or adolescent years when a person becomes more adventurous and tries new and exciting things. More teenagers are gaining access to the internet, smartphones, and other forms of communication. This in turn provides much faster means of communicating amongst one another. Now the question that arises from this is how the use of communication technology encourages sexual behavior in teenagers. Teenagers today spend a considerable amount of their leisure time on the internet. Some of this time may be used to engage in risky online behavior, such as sending intimate messages or searching for sexual partners. Among the influences of teens' offline lives, peers may actually play a role in explaining such risky online behavior. One of those theories that explains why peers influence teenagers' risk behavior is the social norms theory. This theory assumes that peer influence is based on adolescents' beliefs about the norms that are prevalent among their peers. Social norms can typically be divided into descriptive and injunctive peer norms. Descriptive peer norms are adolescents' perceptions about the quantity and frequency of certain risk behaviors among their peers. Injunctive peer norms are beliefs about the approval of behavior among peers. Teenagers are willing to comply with perceived group peer norms because they're afraid of the consequences, such as being excluded from the group. For this reason, teenagers are engaging in sexual behavior. One exception is that teenagers may not engage in risky online activities in a group context. Engagement in risky sexual online behavior is much more private and peer pressure may be weaker. One difference is teenagers who perceive their friends are engaging in sexual activity or behavior, such as sending intimate pictures online, are likely to engage in these behaviors as well. Even if teenagers do not think that their friends engage in these sexual behaviors, they may have certain assumptions about their friends' opinions concerning these behaviors. Teenagers may be willing to engage in risky sexual online behaviors only if they believe their friends would approve of such behavior. Cell phones, specifically smartphones, are continuing to grow more popular among adolescents. Approximately 75% of 12 to 17-year-olds now own a cell phone. This is an increase from 45% since 2004. Text messaging has become the most popular form of basic communication among adolescents today, even more than calling from a cell phone. Today, cell phones are basically handheld computers. You can access the internet and other online resources just as you would on a computer. This easy access makes it that much easier for teenagers to locate a guy or girl within their area. There are applications now that allow members to simply meet up and hook up. One can easily locate a person within 5 minutes who wants to have casual sex, just as you would finding a restaurant. With a GPS now in every phone, other people become available at the touch of a button. Other ways that teenagers are utilizing their smartphones is through sexting. Teens are distributing and receiving sexual pictures of themselves and others. Polls have indicated that up to 20% of teens have sent nude photographs of themselves or others via text messages. An estimated 23% of teens say that they felt pressured by a friend, while half of teenage girls say that they felt pressure from a boy to send sexual explicit messages. Peer pressure and social norms both seem to have an effect on the cause of sexting, as well as easy accessible forms of communication. Along with the increase in cell phone usage, teenagers are using social media websites to connect to one another as well. More than half of teenagers surveyed use and create online social network programs. Almost every social networking site has a mobile application now, so you can access Facebook right from the smartphone with a simple click. Social psychologists recently found that sexual links were most commonly shared sites on Facebook. Sex links were 90% more likely to be shared than any other types of content. Also, a content analysis of teenagers' MySpace profiles demonstrated that about half of them had reference to high-risk behaviors such as sex, drugs, and violence. Another source of influence on adolescents' intention to initiate intercourse is the media. The most studied media in the area of sexual behavior is television. It is thought that on the basis of social cognitive theory, that exposed to televised sexual content could influence adolescents' safe sex, self-related outcome expectancies, and perceived norms regarding sex. It is believed that each of these could influence intercourse initiation. Overall trends indicate the media exposure is linked to sexual outcomes, especially for women. Exposure to sexual media content likely increases adolescents' sexual behavior by increasing their perceptions of social pressure to have sex. Exposure to sexual content leads to increased beliefs that people like them, including their friends and peers their age, are having sex. Whether it's through the online resources, cell phones, or media outlets, teenagers seem to have endless amounts of influence on how they behave sexually. These adolescents are growing accustomed to such fast communication that it makes it that much easier for them to interact with possible sexual partners. Facebook and other social networking sites unintentionally create windows for sex seekers to find what sexual desires they're looking for. The use of the cell phone will continue to increase, thus increasing the speed of communication. Teenagers can simply take pictures and send them to partners without anyone else knowing, creating a drive for sexting. Media outlets such as television tend to pressure teenagers by showing them that kids their age are engaging in sexual activity. All these factors play a huge role in encouraging sexual behavior among teenagers today. Thank you.